Hello, Dragon Ball Super friends. Welcome back to another episode. A little later this week than we intended, but we are back for the second week in a row. I am the man with a plan, always, sometimes, Kevin.
What?
I'm Benjamin.
A.k.a. the one who has all 7 Dragon Balls in his hand at any given time, and the God Destroyer himself, Jake. Welcome, everybody. It's good to be back.
Welcome. It's been a while.
A whole week.
All week.
Karen, apparently a master planner? What's up with that? A man with always a plan?
A man who always has a plan sometimes.
Wow.
Anyway, we got a few things in store for you guys today. First, let's talk about all that have finally been revealed and coming out, I believe, this Friday, correct?
I thought the release was on the 7th or the 8th?
Comes out on the 7th. So
Yeah, which is correct.
I thought the release was on the 7th or the 8th?
Comes out on the 7th. So
Yeah, which is Friday. This
Yeah.
Friday. I know we got some boxes coming in, and it was very limited supply, unfortunately, for us, for what we had to do.
We're little rats. We scrounge up. We do what we can.
Exactly. We scrounged up. Who was excited for these? I think these anniversary boxes, especially me just coming back into the game not too long ago, I love these rare prints.
I like how they make it a sort of collector's item. Like, you can get different boxes, different artwork that can suit you, even though it's supposed to be random when you get the boxes at the stores, but I like the different customizations and the different sort of tribes you get in the deck. And the set itself.
Print coming out of there, Jake.
The ape.
Of course you want
the
the
combo ape. Yellowies is so bad. If you are
baby.
playing yellow deck, you need that card really bad. So that's the top notch there.
Okay. Is there any reprint you feel is missing from that set?
You need that card really bad. So that's the top notch there.
Okay. Is there any reprint you feel is missing from that set?
I gotta think. You gotta come back to me.
Okay. Ben, how do you feel about this anniversary box set?
I think the anniversary box set brings a lot of utility to some older archetype strategies. Like Red Frieza, for example. They got a Unison card and a new extra card they can search up.
What was it called or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Is there a reprint you're very excited for?
Trying to think. There's a lot of reprints. I think the Topo reprint and then like the 4-drop blue Goku reprint. I'm pretty excited about.
Okay. I just want all of them, just so I can catch a little variety in my spice of life.
The spices of life. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
It's good that Bandai took into consideration what cards actually needed to get printed or reprinted, I should say.
Yeah, how about instructions? How do you guys feel about that archetype?
They needed to get printed or reprinted, I should say.
Yeah, how about instructions? How do you guys feel about that archetype as a general?
I feel like the archetype, in order to compete, needed a lot of love, and they gave it a lot of love because I remember when it first came out, it was just running rampant on turn 5 or 6 battle cards on you.
Okay.
But with the new deck, you don't even need to do that because you're doing that anyways. By turn 3, turn 4.
And then with the new Unison card that they're going to get, it's going to just kind of give it the deck the oomph it needs.
Oh yeah, the Unison card called Vegeta, Resolute Agent of Destruction.
Oof.
Double strike critical.
Is that just statically?
20k, double strike crit.
Yeah, that's a green one with Majin Babidi on it too.
And then when he enters play, he has an auto. Choose one card in your hand and discard it. When this card is played, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO them.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. So are we all in agreement that deck will probably be a tier 1 at least?
I'm pretty sure either you're going to need only certain agents or pieces of the deck in order to actually play it, because I don't think you're going to be able, maybe you can play 2 colors, but I don't think 4-color agents is really going to be prevalent.
You can.
You can with the new leader, but I don't know. Maybe someone will tinker with it and change my mind, but I still feel like it might be. But I still feel like the archetype as a whole is still a little bit underwhelming because you're going to have to make choices for cards and certain agents of destructions.
How do you feel about the deck, Jake?
Personally, I think any other deck is just weak to counterplay. It's think of it as sort of a combo deck where you need certain cards to come off, and you need certain cards to stick. Like for example, you need the Turles, Chaotic Agent of Destruction, to stick. He's a barrier and he has the unique. And when this card attacks, you look at the top 5 cards of the deck and add up to one Agent of Destruction card in its name among them to your hand. So that's your entire deck.
I got you.
And the extra card, because the extra card counts as an agent too.
Exactly. But it's weak to counterplay, so but it can get around very well because of its unique, energy resource of being able to play things up by 1-2 energy and efficiently, really.
I feel like this is going to be the type of deck that's going to sneak a lot of game ones because people aren't going to be prepared for it, but after sideboard, people are just going to kind of like roll over it a little bit.
That's what we at least hope, but it can get out of hand really quick, hopefully.
Definitely. Okay. So I know they actually technically postponed Unison Warrior by a month, so it seems shorter than it has been. But I feel the sets are coming out pretty quickly, and cards are just coming out rather quickly. Would you guys agree or disagree with that statement?
In terms of product, I'd say we've been getting, I think since the game's conception, we've been getting a lot of product in very short periods of time. But what I think Bandai is doing right about that, like with these anniversary boxes, they're giving you 2 of every card, I believe, in the core set from this box. So you only really need to buy 2. So if they put out those expansion sets where you only need to get like a couple copies of that expansion set, then like you're gonna have all the cards you need anyway. But like putting out a lot of core sets very rapidly kind of hurts your game at the same time too, because like they put out core sets every like 2 or 3 months, which is pretty faster than other TCGs, because other TCGs will drop them like every 4 to 5 months almost.
It depends on the TCGs. A lot of them lately, anyways, it seems like everybody's just dropping left and right, which I understand a little bit because of COVID. They don't want to like prolong too long because then they're not making any money, and then if they don't make enough money, then they could stop production, and it's just a lose-lose for everybody at that point. So I understand that aspect. I don't know if there's anything we can do to solve that problem at the moment. I don't know how huge of a problem it is for a lot of players. I would appreciate a little bit of break in between, personally. What about you, Jake?
I think one aspect that I've been considering lately is just the competitive scene. How much of a roller coaster the competitive scene will be if there's sets being released every 2 months, and there's new sets that are coming out that are just defining the meta each time. Especially with set 10. For example, set 10, there is how many decks that you can...
There's at
A
least
good amount.
There's at least like 5 good leaders.
You can
build.
make 5 set 10 decks straight from set 10 stuff, and it still be competitive. You know what I mean? Mono Green Ginyu, for example, and then you have VJX, straight set 10 stuff, and then you also have Pilaf. Pilaf is also
Yamcha,
really up there. Yamcha,
Shenron, it goes on.
Fusamatsu, all these are set 10 stuff that are really, really strong and they're really meta-defining. So if this keeps happening every month, 2-month basis, how's that going to stick realistically with the competitive scene?
It's very understandable. It's like at this point, for obvious reasons, you can only play at locals right now. Could you imagine playing locals with one deck for 4 weeks and then the new set comes out and then you have to build another deck?
Selling time, boys. Time to freshen up those binders.
Yep, you gotta stay in the product. Just gotta stay in the know.
Stay in the know. If you go missing like Kevin did,
yikes!
Look at a little carton.
Big yikes for that.
Would you say like putting out a lot of sets like this would also kind of discourage newer players to try to enter the game because they feel like they're so far behind?
It depends, because they do still make older decks somewhat viable, I think, for the most part. I mean, there's some that obviously got weeded out, but there's a lot of things you could play, and you just gotta get used to it and just keep practicing, whether it be online with your friends.
So much competitive decks.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's not like, I don't know. There's like a few I would put above the others, but you could still win with a lot of other decks, and I appreciate that, even though, there's a lot of cards in the pool that I missed. And a new player obviously would start from the beginning, but our community overall, I would say, is pretty friendly when it comes to new players.
Maybe we'll get into some new support for some of that old support.
Like that can always happen.
Set 2 Cell?
That can always happen.
Major support for that.
Speaking of old
Baby
decks,
androids.
I wanted to get into a little deck discussion with 3 of you, and we have some decks that you guys want to talk about. I'll hit it over to Ben. What deck did you want to talk about that you think's a little slept on, a little older? What received some hype?
I think a deck that people might want to look at is all that Future Trunks support that we got early set 2, and then we kind of got a little bit more in Assault of the Saiyans, and then we kind of got a little bit more now
in Unison Warrior. Yeah.
I feel like if you can make like a blue-yellow build with the Meteoric Super Saiyan Vegito, he lets you combo cards from your energy area. and there's a super rare Trunks that from Assault of the Saiyans that when he combos, he gets played for free. So what you can do is you can kind of like use you realistically want to use a blue Saiyan leader when you're playing this deck. So maybe like Vegito or even like the new Trunks or even the old set 2 Trunks you could probably do it with. But basically what your end game is you're going to try to like use Zeno and your other ramp tools with those Vegito support that came out in set 10 with like those blue Goku and Vegetas, and then you're just going to ramp up your energy until you can drop Vegito and then bring all your guys out from your energy and try to push with like that. And you can also play like Forerunner of Hope and stuff, so you can like use your Evolve Trunks for like less cost and things. A lot of cheap like effective plays, and then you have like the perks of blue on top of that. So
yeah, there's some Trunks cards that can catch on you quick, like that new I believe it's a 4-drop. You pay 2, make him 30k triple strike or something like that.
Yes,
that's very juicy. I think I like that card a lot.
Red got that too in the Yamcha the Lawless. If your leader cards are Earthling, at the end of the turn you draw a card, and if you pay 2, you get 15k power and double strike. So it's like some of these leaders are getting some of that, and I think that's really juice. Very efficient.
Yes. What would you say in the meta? How would you rank that blue Trunks? Do you think it could fare well? You think it'd be a little bit more of a mid tier? What you thinking?
I feel if someone wanted to put the time and effort into the deck, they could probably make it competitive because, like, let's be real, blue yellow is like honestly the best control color combination in the game, right?
You heard it here by Benjamin Kalina, folks.
So it's probably the best, if not one of the best color combinations for control. So you're basically kind of like going to use your Zeno Unison to just ramp up until you hit like 4 or 5 energy on turn 3 or turn 4, and then you're just going to drop your big guys and kind of be like, can you stop me? No, I win. That's kind of how your end game is going to be there. And then you have supplementary support like through Frost Deadly Poison. You know, you're playing yellow, so you have a lot of answers. And then you're playing a dual color, so you have like Chomp of the Trickster on top of that.
Fair enough. Seems like it's something that's worth trying or tinkering around with at least, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming you're probably gonna have to get prepared to lose a lot with it because some of the trunk support can be very combo-y, and you don't see your pieces. Like the certain chains will fall apart, but
gotta make it consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an interesting deck, interesting concept. You know, you guys should check it out. If you like blue, you like Trunks, why not?
And even
give it a go.
Yeah, even if you want to make it mono-colored, there was a blue Trunks leader from Colossal Warfare, and he states on his backside, he's a Kid Trunks, on his backside you can untap a battle card with 3 or more energy and a blue energy at the end of your turn if all your energy is blue. So even if you want to go the mono route, you can like still have stuff to untap with that leader just in particular.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. Jake, what deck have you been thinking about tinkering with that you built? And we actually just played a 2 out of 3 recently.
Yeah, we just came off of playing a 2 out of 3 game. Kevin played Rejects, and then I played Mono Green Ginyu. Mono Green Ginyu, for those people that don't know, you need to know, because it's a very local sort of deck. It's very cheap to make. People are going to be playing it if they really like green. It's very powerful in the sense of being aggro, being able to swarm very quickly. It's also very undervalued in terms of being able to recuperate your board even after they try to attack into it and try to remove your board after, one big attack swing or things like that. It also has a very neat combo in the deck. If you wind up having all 4 of them in play, Geese, Birder, Goldo, Raccoon in play, you get to play the Ginyu, the 4-drop, 15k, and then when he enters play, you can switch bodies, essentially. So you can steal one of their battle cards they're using, or a Shenron that they're getting value from every turn, or just something along those lines. And then you're able to KO it for free to play a 20k double strike that gives all your Ginyu Force 10k power, including itself. So you're going in for the heavy swings. And it gets complemented well with Charismatic Villain, of course. Just great green stuff like the Golden Frieza Unison, a Malice, because you get to set up the draws where if you attack, you get to reveal, and then be able to just get value off your leader effects. Most people don't really know how to deal with 4 15k attackers on turn 2, so.
Would you say that it's more of like a monocolor deck, or would you try to like make it green-yellow or like green-red? Because like there's a bunch of Ginyu support in those colors, or even
So the cards I was actually missing for the deck is actually a couple ones like the Captain Ginyu Helix Strike, the one from yellow. I don't know exactly what he does, but I saw it in the Ginyu deck. I believe that he like reveals a Ginyu Force from the top of your deck if you reveal top 3, and then you have to play 2 or less. But you discard him by paying 1. I'm not really sure how that works. But if you try to make a green-yellow, it will actually hurt the deck a lot. So you will have to keep it mono just to keep it consistent, just to keep it the pace as well. Also, you don't really need to worry about playing anything else because you have negates plus charismatic villains, and then you have Zarbon, Victory, that three drop negate, KO, discard 1. Yeah.
Okay. So something very interesting question for you, I think. What do you say to someone that says, "Why don't you just play green Frieza instead?" What do you say to them?
Well, wouldn't Frieza be more like hand control at that point?
It's 2 different decks.
Yeah.
It's 2 different decks?
I think it's 2 different archetypes. Like, if you're looking for the more of the hand control deck, the Frieza's more of a combo deck.
Okay.
I think they're both combo decks, but I also believe that there's more ways for you to set up in the terms of Ginyu with the leader oriented, and you also be able to play Goldo from the hand for free without actually being able to play him from to the battle area, and then you're able to just rearrange your draws every turn. Golden Frieza, be able to rearrange your draws every turn. That's really powerful.
It seems very consistent. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to get tramped on, to be honest, by VJX, but
Jake pulled it out.
It worked out well. So I mean,
trashed me game 1, and then game 2 was very, very close.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think I think green in general set 10 just got way better. So. Oh,
absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Green, even though it's not one of my preferred colors, I do agree got so much better this set.
So what's your preferred color?
It changes, you know. Like, I like certain play styles. I don't think I could say overall one of my colors, like what favorite I have, because all of them, it depends on the meta, you know. Like right now, red, I like the red because it's my favorite color, but I also don't like super aggro decks all the time either. You know what I mean? Blue, I like as a utility color, but I don't like the decks that just ramp for no reason.
That seems to be the main strategy for blue lately, just to be able to ramp and stuff.
Right. I was more of the mid-range with Super Saiyan 3, Soul Striker back in the day, so that's why I like blue.
Like actual battle cards that actually did something.
Yeah,
you know?
Instead of, just ramping up and just killing my face.
Or like the old blue Vegeta leader that got himself crit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one was not bad whatsoever.
Why can't blue be aggro again? Blue be aggro.
Blue for aggro 2020.
Blue for aggro 2020.
All right. So how would you say it fares in this meta, Jake? Currently, your green Ginyu deck.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it would fare against like blue. Like Fuse Muscle seems to be the deck right now that's really running rampant, just because of its ability to be able to draw a shit ton of cards every turn. Give a dual attack, draw 2 cards per turn, and just kill any unison that you may have on play.
And they have the field spell on top of that.
The field spell to kind of nuke anything that's 4 or more. So kind of will nuke your combo a little bit. But then if they're an experienced player, like our friend Pete, shout out to Pete, he'll play the 2-drop Goku that will say that, you can't attack with cards that are 2 or less.
Oh, you're talking about the feature rare from
the feature rare, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. That card says get fucked on a stick. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Wow. Okay. So a deck I wanted to talk about for a little bit, it's not new or anything. I've seen some videos on it. It's not a secret. But
Spice.
Playing the OG Master Saiyan Bardock with some of the new support that Fajex got in his starter deck, I think on paper that could be pretty solid. You play a lot of double strike for the crits. It could be very aggressive, very aggro. And it does benefit from everything because he's a Black Saiyan. And you only mill 3, so you can kind of play around what you want to mill, specifically so you don't deck out. And it's only 3 instead of 5.
You can use Overrun a bit more.
You can use Overrun, which is another strategy that Fajex can do for 1 or 2 cards, or really they don't want to Overrun like that. But
with Hatchback would be nice too to be able to
set
those cards back.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a possibility there, and let's get around with it. See as an aggressive black deck versus my mid-range Fajex.
Do you have the leader?
I do have that leader.
Do you have an extra leader? Yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah,
well, I will check my cards after this, but I think it could compete depending on the build you have, the matchups. I mean, I feel that black, a lot of people still forget, like, oh, you can overwhelm, so like, there's a utility card. Boom, drop this high double strike. You're like, oh, forgot about that.
Or you're just like, drop Scientist Fu.
Boom, drop this high double strike. You're like, oh, forgot about that.
Or you're just like, drop Scientist Fu. I draw 2 cards.
Yeah, the Scientist Fu is also like game ender, Shrouded by Mystery. Get wrecked. You know what I mean?
I've been playing that in Mono Yellow Topo, and that card's great.
I mean, it's a game ender.
Yes,
Plain and simple.
it's an SER. It should be an SER.
Secret rare, yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah, I mean, you got it. You know what I mean?
better than some of them out there.
Yes.
No hate to some of them out there.
A little hate.
Just a little bit.
So something I also want to talk about too. Store championships are coming up, guys. Can
The
you
store
believe it?
championships.
Can you believe it? We're actually having store championships. I mean, Jake was able to sneak in for one of them.
The second tournament, not even the original. I'm not good enough for the original. I'm good for the. I'm good for.
We were a little miscommunicated on that one, to be honest.
It wasn't a little. It was a lot.
Yeah. So, but shout out to the people that made it to those store tournaments, and got those slots. I hope everybody does well, and we'll be paying attention. It's nice to see tournaments that are 2 out of 3. I personally don't like the best of 1. That's just me. We can go into that on other topics.
Is the championship really gonna be best of 1?
No, store championships are going to be best of 3.
Okay.
As far as I know.
They're Bandai rules.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like,
People are actually gonna be able to play Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, not just 1 games.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of people have been killing it these past online tournaments for Gen Con, but...
Then you're gonna be facing Pilaf all day. That's not gonna be fun.
Yay!
Or VJX all day, or Boo. Like, that's not fun to you? No. Or Gohan.
Let's have a...
Oh, yes,
I know
come
it's
on.
super early. What deck do you guys think will win the store championships? What do you think will be...
the spice.
What do you think will be represented the most?
I feel like blue, yellow, and black will probably be the most represented colors on the field.
Any deck in particular that you're thinking in your head?
No, not really, because like there's so many good decks that you could probably bring to a tournament, and if you're
Okay. How about you, Jake?
Interesting. So VJX is always a strong component, but you also have Gotenks that's been rising up the ranks lately. Zamasu just outlasts them. She pretty much out-aggroes them out. But if I had to pick something, I think it would be a set 10 deck. I think it would be VJX or...
Okay. I could see, probably a set 10 deck. Somebody will come up with some spice, and everybody will be like, ooh, this is spice and everything nice. So...
Spice and everything nice.
Yes. So, that's, I'm looking forward to seeing these next few weeks and seeing what tops and what the percentages are, and, just some ideas to bounce off of, One thing, is we're recording this on Wednesday, so it was a little, we had our own life stuff going on this week, so let's record a little later, and we didn't have time to get a guest on. We will be having guests shortly, as soon as maybe next week. And we didn't have time to get a guest on. We will be having guests shortly, as soon as maybe next week. We're going to keep that a surprise. We have a few people lined up that definitely say they want to do it.
They're on queue, if you will.
Yeah. If you guys have any suggestions or know anybody that would like to be on a guest on the podcast, even yourself, just hit us a message, say what up, we can maybe work something out, depending on the schedules.
No chicken wings.
No chicken wings.
As payments.
I take chicken wings as payment.
Why do they need to pay to be on the podcast?
They don't. I was just saying, if somebody wants to pay me in chicken wings, I'm not going to refuse. I hope y'all wash yourselves this week, by the way. Sorry, I had to throw it out there. I couldn't help it.
Is that just going to be your sign off?
I
hope you watch yourself this week. Like, bye.
No, that's not the sign off. But that's actually, I believe, all we got.
That is all we got.
I apologize for the short broadcast this week, but I think we covered a good amount of stuff. So, do you guys want to give any shout-outs, anything you want to say before the end of this podcast?
Just a typical shout-outs. Team Limit Breakers, Chad, check out the channel.
Yeah, check out me getting beat by Chad on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
That's always fun.
Yeah, we're going to make a YouTube, Facebook page eventually, or be guest appearances. Shout out to Team Soul Silver Gaming, my boys.
Then you'll get to see me kick their asses in person. Or on camera.
And with that, we have myself, the man always that has a plan. Sometimes Kevin signing out. We got...
Wow.
Benjamin.
Collecting 7 Dragon Balls, Kalina.
eyebrow
God
raising.
Destroyer.
The eyebrow raising. Jabroni beat. The Jake.
Pie eating.
Poo take pie.
That is Jake. So